coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. And birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. The front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Loose print smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, on just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, on just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
Hey, let me get this. Some things fell right before I went live. Let me fix it. All right, I think I got it. There we go. There we go. All right. I hate it when that happens, when things fall apart right before the stream begins. It's okay. We figure it out. That's what we do here. So good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a good morning. You guys know where I got that, don't you? The idea for the steam whistle. I was watching the movie My Cousin Vinny. He gets woken up by the steam whistle and he's like, what the hell is that loud thing? And they're like, oh, that wakes everyone up, lets them know it's time to get up. 5 a.m. Funny the way they used to do stuff. How are you all? You all having a good day? It is the 1st of December. Yeah, it is Monday, December 1st. So it's officially the cold year, or cold part of the year. Just cold here in Maryland, right, Nancy? Which I see we got Nancy and we got Aaron here. Welcome. I'm all over the place this morning. I woke up early. I was up at 5. No real reason, just waking up. Let's see what is going on with the news. If there's any news you guys want to talk about, let me know. I'm on USA Today. They're talking about Lane Kiffin. I find that hilarious. Lane Kiffin leaving. Like some people are mad, some people are happy. I'm like, look, that's a coach who is not loyal. He's just going to jump ship to the next place. You just barely woke up. Huh? Thank you for waking up with me. Yeah, here's the headline. Lane Kiffin torches Ole Miss legacy for Renegades exit to LSU. Like, yeah, LSU LSU is just throwing money at problems. Everything changes now. Lane Kiffin's redemption arc just made a 180-degree plot or pivot. He's a turncoat again. He was always a turncoat. Now they're going to go through, like, for the most part, he's failed upward. He'll go to a school, be there a year, maybe 2, and then jump ship to the next place. He's never stayed anywhere to build anything dramatic much. Yeah. Robin Williams yelling "Good morning, Vietnam." That's where I got. That's where I got the idea that I should have something. But yeah, I don't want to. A lot of people use that soundbite. A lot of like morning shows. So I wanted to do something a little bit different. In fact, I'm trying to work on a couple videos for the channel that are the type where an ad, that's a fake ad. Hey, Darlene, welcome. I'm trying to make a fake ad where I solve a problem that's not a problem. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to think like of an example. But yeah. Oh yeah, Zachary Tyler Bryan was arrested. Apparently he's got no teeth anymore. I just find that funny. I didn't do too bad in my picks. I think I was 31 and 34. So I didn't do too bad. Texas A&M tumbled in the poll, in the AP poll. The problem is Tim Walz. Oh, you're trying to be the federal government? How am I trying to be the federal government? I did see Tim Walz. He posed with the Paul Bunyan axe, and that was embarrassing. Like, whenever like politicians do stuff like that, like just show up to the game and wear a hat for the team. Like that's all. Don't do any of this other shit. It's all fake and performative. Yeah, here we go. And here I'll share this. I'll let you guys see what I'm reading. In Trump country, suburban grandmas push back against ICE. A grassroots group of seniors protests Ohio County's cooperation with ICE. Only retirees are free to attend daytime commissioners meeting, they say. Where's this at? A group that's on almost 70 strong. Here's one thing I will say, and I've told several people this. They I'm gonna try to customize. Let's move me over there. There we go. I like that. And then boop. Good morning, TC. Good morning, Coop. Solving a problem that isn't a problem. Okay, yeah. I get the joke now, TC. I watched some of the UCL game. It pissed me off that they were behind. UCLA is just, they're not a good team right now. They can't put things together. They're just not good. Um, and I don't think they're getting quality coaches. They need someone who's going to come in and build a program. Um, like if I were UCLA, if I were a lot of these teams, I would reach out to Chip Kelly. He just got fired from the Raiders. Now, Chip Kelly was a great college coach. He was at Oklahoma, or not Oklahoma, but Oregon for years. Did very well there. And yeah, being just because you're a great college coach does not mean you're going to be a good NFL coach. And as Bill Belichick is learning, just because you're a good NFL coach doesn't mean you're going to be a good college coach. They're both different. In NFL, you have to worry about salaries and caps, and you have a GM who's going to be doing stuff. In college, you have to worry about recruiting. So yeah, it is not a gimme at all. So just because you're good at one does not mean you're going to be good at the other. But that's who I would, if I were UCLA, I'd be going after Chip Kelly. That's a good fit. He's a West Coast guy. He knows how to recruit. He knows how to get in good coaches. Like right now, everyone knows I grew up in an Ohio State family. So, Toledo is actually like the team I, really do love. But I grew up watching Ohio State, grew up an Ohio State fan. And with Ohio State, like right now, they're successful because they have so many good uh, assistant coaches. That you on paper, if you said, "Hey, bring it down to one thing," that's why. I think all government board meetings should be held during the evening hours. I've got no problem with that. Um, yeah, we'll see about this one. Um, I'm here because I'm outraged. I'm here because I'm angry. Cassie Stevens, who lives in Hamilton, and Butler County Commissioners meeting. Um, Hamilton is not really Trump country. It did go for Trump, but you got to understand, Hamilton is outside of Cincinnati. Cincinnati is not Trump country. So this is a very swing district. Our county commission meets mid-morning in the middle of the day. Yeah, ours does as well. The whole well, they're going to get a whole overhaul. They just fired Chip Kelly, so yeah. For 17 weeks, a group of Butler County residents have spoken at the commission's meeting in Hamilton. They want commissioners to cancel Sheriff Richard Jones's March agreement with ICE, which allows Butler County Jail to detain people facing deportations. Okay. They criticize the agreement. If you don't look like us, bring a passport. Okay, that's just ridiculous. This is not a protest on the merits based upon that statement. Some people cried as speakers shared their neighbors, friends, grandchildren's classmates' fears about ICE arrests and detentions. Well, then do what you can to get and maintain legal status. That's the thing. Ignoring this for so long was the problem. And Jansen's 82, who lives in 7 Mile, first began attending. Okay. She met others with the same beliefs and started an email chain. Now, I will say this, there's a lesson to be learned here. Organizing is important. Like, okay, they organized via email. That's a great way to organize. And I get a lot of people who want to come on the show, or who do come on the show, and they're like, what else can I do? And they think that just doing this, and it's like, no, you need to have organization. Okay. You need to have somewhere for people to go to support you. So if I were these women, I would do a Facebook page, a Facebook group, something that they control, because if they jump into another Facebook group where someone else controls it, they can be shut out of it. I've literally had conversations with people in Minnesota that have said you should call ICE on any person that isn't white. Well, they can do that. They can call people, but that doesn't mean ICE is like ICE might show up, might even say, "Okay, who are you? Where are you at?" I'm about ready to break the news on a story. Okay, uh, there is an illegal immigrant living on this base, living on this base, and it's been reported. Um, I am going to be doing follow-ups, but there should not be illegal immigrants living on federal installations. Like, are you kidding me? If you weren't here illegally, you wouldn't have to be scared or yeah, and well, my brother has neighbors from Somalia. And in one house, like the people are just a really nice family, hardworking. But then down the street, there's a family, they've gotten in trouble because they have like too many family members living with them. And they've got, they had goats, they had a chicken coop, uh, you know, but the thing is, they're not in an area that's zoned for that. Um, so, having too many people living in a dwelling is one problem. Then when you're bringing in, you know, animals that are not in the zoning thing, that's another issue. I'm not saying any of it rates them getting kicked out or anything like that. It is about ICE for me. It's about the blatant racism people that think every person that isn't white must be an illegal. Yeah, but that you can't legislate racism like or anti-racism. You can't. People are going to have racist thoughts and feelings, and that's part of the First Amendment. Um, I'm all for coming here legally, but do it the right way. Yeah, yeah. Now with those Somalis, they're all here legally. They are here legally. They have a legal status, and I'm okay with that. However, uh, based upon some of the things that are happening, their status is going to be reviewed. And the thing is, it's perfectly legal for Trump to review that legal status. 100% legal. Um, and there are people who are upset about that. Like, they're here illegally. Yes, but they they are not citizens. They haven't taken the steps to become citizens. And yeah, I applaud them for being here legally, but they can also be told to go home. That's the president has that power. And it's a unilateral power of the presidency. He can do it by fiat. Um, but yeah, back to this story. So yeah, like if you want change, like start organizing locally. Show me where I said I could legislate. No, no, I'm talking about this story. Taking your comments into this story, because like these people, they um, said it sends one message: if you don't look like us, bring a passport to Butler County. No, it doesn't say that. You might take that from it, but it doesn't say that. When they have committed over $1 billion. Yeah, and that's Minnesota. So the Somalis in Minnesota, they were committing fraud, and not all the Somalis, but like very select group. I know for a fact they've been able to track down $250 million that was fleeced from the government using COVID money. Yeah, and as far as Somalis go, I don't care. Like if you're legal, hey, you're here. I do expect you to assimilate into like you can be proud of your heritage, but don't be mad at Americans for American culture. And you do see that. You see that with a lot of Hispanics, and also I've seen it with Asians too. Like you came here. We didn't come to you. You came here. So you need to accept our culture. And there are parts of your culture we do not need to accept. Like you can celebrate it all day long, but we don't have to accept it. Um, Retirees are more likely than younger people to be able to attend commissioner meetings, which are held at 9:30 a.m. That's smart that they identified that and that they're showing up. I've got no problem with it. He's begun carrying his passport daily. You don't have to carry your passport. This is again part of the performative. You don't have to carry a passport. If ICE stops you, they're going to ask you if you're a U.S. citizen. They're going to ask you to show ID. And as we've talked, there are places where you are within the zone where they can ask you for ID. I don't believe Hamilton, Ohio is one of those places. So if they stop you in Hamilton, Ohio, and they ask you, "Are you a citizen?" You just say yes, and they'll say, "Can I see your ID?" And you can say no. No. And they do not have the right to detain you. And I'm assuming I don't believe Hamilton is within the buffer zone. So they use the dehumanizing term illegals. Illegals is not dehumanizing. Just like they use the N word, she said. Okay, now you're just being a little bit ridiculous. Melanie Stearns, who lives in Hamilton, said the county's cooperation with ICE has given the region a bad reputation. Okay. Well, that's just your opinion. We look like idiots, just like we did with Katz and JD Vance. No, you don't. Like we had the videos, right? There was 2 instances in Ohio. And you can argue with me that, well, that's not what it was. Okay, but that's the perception of it. Okay, that's the perception, and the perception becomes the reality for now. Yeah, the Somalians are behind the fraud, sending money back home. I did see probably the best thing, um, that, and it happened quietly this week, that the Trump administration announced, and it came out of the Treasury. Excuse me, guys. It came out of the Treasury, and Trump announced that if you're sending large amounts of money to a family member overseas, that money can be taken. Yeah, that money can be taken. Oh, I do want to show this. But hold on here. Oh, wait. Okay. So yeah, anything over $2,000 being sent to family members overseas will be grabbed, which I think is great. Like, because what happens is a lot of these people, they're just coming here to fund family members to come here. And it's not about assimilation at all. It's not about becoming a part of the American society. Yeah, I'm over a third of the way through this article, and I'm not seeing anyone give anything a substance. It's just an emotional argument. And I don't think they're going to have, I don't think they're going to have much success. NASCAR antitrust trial, Michael Jordan, 23XI racing team goes to court. Michael Jordan filed an antitrust lawsuit against NASCAR sanctioning body, and there are potentially far-reaching repercussions too, barring a last-minute settlement. Okay. Let me close. Okay. Lawsuit accuses NASCAR of restraining fair competition, violating the Sherman Antitrust Act, preventing teams from competing without accepting the anti-competitive terms it dictates. Filed in 2024, the lawsuit asserts the France family and NASCAR are monopolistic bullies. Jordan has not entered this battle alone. Denny Hamlin, driver for Joe Gibbs Racing, longtime Jordan business advisor. Okay, so the case centers on multi-million-dollar charter agreements which guarantee team spots in every race of the NASCAR series. It entitles them to a share of NASCAR's revenue and sponsorship media deals. Said most Series Cup teams are not profitable. Court documents released from antitrust lawsuits show that NASCAR's net income. So it's an issue of the revenue sharing. Offered teams a 7-year charter agreement that would increase media revenue. Okay, I don't know if this will go anywhere. We'll see. I don't see the other thing that's important about that lawsuit is NASCAR is not a public company. It's a private company. It's owned by the France family. Michael Jordan's been in NASCAR for well over 5 years. Well over 5 years. Probably it's close to 7 or 8. Yeah, he's an owner. I don't think he's a majority owner. They brought him in, and I think they use his name, obviously 23XI Racing. 23 is Michael Jordan. What other stories do we want to get into? Oh, I know what I wanted to show. Hold on, let me take this down because I want to open up this. Excuse me. It'll take me a minute here. I'm signing into X. There we go. Now I gotta scroll through all of my old tweets because I want to get to this. This made me laugh. Like some of these people who are just so petty. Okay, here we go. Share screen. Okay. This is Mr. Star Spangled Maga, white as a random conservative with 10K followers, 200 word banger, get 180 impressions while some DNC troll with a brain dead clears 300K. Well, it's because things get throttled, especially on X. They get throttled. Yeah, people have complained about that for years. But then this guy, at Poor Marine, there are accounts on conservative side that do the same and posers with service dogs like at Patriot 911 News. Dude was admin, then supply. And I responded, wrong account, moron. So Poor Marine, he is a guy, he's a fan of Spawn Trooper and, you know, the fake veteran. And Spawn Trooper and Squid have been out there talking about yours truly. As you guys know, they put the cryon on the screen that showed my name, and here you have one of their super fans, Poor Marine, on X, attempting to bash me. So yeah, he's talking about my service dog. Okay, I don't know what my service dog has to do with anything. I know Spawn did a couple things where he was trying to say that like my dog was an emotional support. Well, he's an idiot. Okay, he's an idiot. He blows things out of his ass. Um, my dog is a service dog. That's a fact. This is one of his cohorts in here. Can I make this? Yeah, here we go. We'll make this a lot bigger if I can. Too big. So there you go. And then dude was admin, then supply. You're kind of wrong there. I was admin when I was enlisted. I worked for the IG. Um, oh, he'll talk about me regardless, Aaron. He's been talking about me. And that's why do you think this came up? Why do you think this came up? And this guy's always in his comments. Always. Um, again, I'm proud of my service. I'm very proud of my service. Um, I was not supply. I was logistics. But I did fill a role one time. Well, actually, no, two times as a supply officer. I was the supply officer for the meth, but I wasn't doing like supply. I didn't work at supply. I wasn't issuing things out. I was managing the meth EDL, which is a very important job. That is all equipment coming in to the meth command element. Like I was saying, okay, yeah, this goes to this guy, this goes to this guy. Like I was directing where, to what units it was going to. Ninth Com is gonna get this you know dish. Radio battalion is gonna get this mine roller. Like that's what I was determining. Which is an important job. Very important job. And I had to manage because see, units need to maintain what we named red lines, where this is how much stuff I need, and if we fall below it, we cannot do our mission. So I had to make sure they always stayed above that. So I had tricks and tools, and when people would get close to their red lines, I would okay, here's what I'm going to do. So it was an art and a science. I was doing a dance. So on paper, I was not the supply officer, and on paper, I was definitely not the meth supply officer. That was a lieutenant colonel who I worked very close with. Um, and but I was the meth command element supply officer. I was the one uh really getting into the weeds and do like I was in spreadsheet hell. I was going through spreadsheets like, okay, who needs this? And I wasn't making like willy-nilly decisions. It was everything was calculated. Yeah, he finally monetized. Yeah. Yeah, he's doing members only. People told me that I don't care about him. But when his fans bring this shit to me, okay, yeah, we'll talk about it. Like I'm here for it. I'll monetize the shit out of your hate. Um, Now when I was a reservist, uh, I was brought in to be the supply officer. It's a what do I say? It was ancillary MOS, so a BMOS as they say. But I was not supply. That was not my primary MOS. Logistics, we mainly do maintenance. Like I said, everywhere I went, I had the armory. So I was always the armory officer. I was safety everywhere. That was always one of my collateral duties because I had a lot of training for it. Yeah. He, uh, but here's the thing: do I send people to his show to mess with him? No. No, in fact, I've even told people, go watch his show. Give him a thumbs up. Give him a thumbs up. Go watch his show. Like, if you like his show, go watch his show. If you don't like mine, why are you doing this shit? Like, and here's what's funny. Patriot 911 News is not me. Patriot 911 News broadcasts this show. We are literally live right now. Here. There right there. You can see, oh, look, it's live. And there I am. That's what they do. And it's because Patriot 911 News, I've gotten close to them over there. This has been for years. They like what I do. We support each other. We talk every single day. Every single day. I talk with one of the people at Patriot 911 News. And they got tired of retweeting my show. So when I lost my last account, they were like, well, it's kind of a relief because every morning you were sending it to us and we were retweeting it. And I was like, do you want it to where you don't have to? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, I could just broadcast it if you guys trust me enough. And they were like, oh, yeah. So that's how this show gets broadcast on X. That's the whole thing. So there you go. But yeah, no, he's factually wrong. I was not Supply. And this is just a weak attack. Like, dude, like, you were HMM 262 helicopter maintenance? Really? And you're getting down on me for being Supply. I'm not Supply, but I did fill the role at one unit as Supply officer, but that's what you do. When there's a gap, you fill a role. That's like you were helicopter maintenance. Like, shut the hell up and turn the fucking wrenches, dude. And that's one thing I find funny about this. I'm not putting him down for his job. I'm putting him down for talking. Like, stop talking shit. And like, I have to laugh because yeah, while the show is Veteran Nation, I come on here and I'm talking college football. I'm talking, news of the day. Everything about this dude's account is about him being a veteran. And he look, 89, like, dude, you did 8 years. Like, you did 8 years. You probably shouldn't be talking shit. I just find it funny. And that just tells me him coming after me means he's not as proud of his service. I'm proud of everything I did. Like, I did it well. I did my job well. But yeah, there's these other creators who, by the way, are losing subs. I'm at 6480 this morning. Most I've ever had. They're losing subs. But yet they're sending people to attack me. Hey, Georgie. Georgie, you just missed it. I was showing Poor Marines. Here, I'll put it back up. Poor Marines attacks on X about me. Yeah, this is Spawn Trooper and Squid sending people after me. 100% what it is. 100%. And we all know Spawn Trooper he's stolen valor. He's stolen valor. Oh, he won't post publicly about his service. Oh, I have to protect my family. No, you don't. Shut up. Shut up. But yet they'll send their people to attack my service. I'm proud of everything I did. Yeah, I sent it to you and said, look at this douchebag. But I'm talking about this morning. So yeah, I'll keep monetizing their hate. Keep sending your fans after me. Like, I'll keep showing it and show that you guys are pieces of shit. Like that, it's content for me. Thank you for the easy content this morning. What else do we want to talk about? I've talked about that douchebag. Tide and Irish claim lead. Where was that? College football bubble breakdown. Like, here we go. Bama and Notre Dame claim lead in great bracket debate. Okay. Talk about A&M. A&M dropped down. 8 teams are locked in for the playoff without need for any finger crossing or politicking. Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, Texas Tech, Oregon, Mississippi, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma. I'd agree with that. There's one for group of 5. Looks like it's going to be Tulane. ACC's champion will be a lock, Virginia or Duke. I think that'll be Virginia. The Irish will trumpet the best teams talking point. If there's no magic 8 ball, Notre Dame wants committee. Okay. I think Notre Dame it's not the good losses. It's that Notre Dame is playing some of the best football right now. Like, legitimately, I think if you were asked me who is the best 2 teams playing right now, it is Ohio State and Notre Dame. Lisa is suing you and Coop and everyone who shows Gabe's court documents. See that she's just an idiot. And she said it was defamation. How is showing a public document, by the way, how is showing that and talking about it defamation? If you're lying about that document, that would be defamation. But no, you guys are actually and here's the thing. Defamation has to be on its face defamatory, prima facie. You have to look at it and say that's clearly a lie. The fact that you have a document, like even if someone falsified that document, but you had a reasonable belief that that document was true, that would not you saying that would not be defamation. Whoever faked the document would be defaming. Now it is true if I know someone is defaming someone and I repeat it, I am just as guilty as the person who started the defamation. But if you have a reasonable belief that something is true, so what she has to do is prove that that document is fake, and she can't. And she's just saying that, like, there's never going to be a lawsuit. Just stop. I was 31-34 for my weekend picks. There were 2 games that I lost by half a point. I know the one was the Northwestern game. I think I picked a 7.5 point total, and they only won by 7. But that's how gambling works. So, but I didn't do bad. I did not do bad. There were a couple games like Notre Dame did not cover, but Notre Dame was picked by like 34 points and they scored 29. Like, to me, I don't consider that a loss. Like, it's a loss in my loss column, but personally, I don't take that like. And that's what happens with some of those games where they're like, yeah, this is going to be a 32-point game. Like, the coaches at a certain point are like, okay, yeah, we won the game. Let's get our third string out there so they can get some reps, which is incredibly smart. You have to beyond that game, you have to develop your players. Yeah, you're going to have an educational show. Yeah, because Gabe is a felon. He is a felon. Like, oh no, that was civil. It is not civil. You don't get probation for civil. You get probation for criminal. Period. That's the way it is. I guess we should ignore Notre Dame owns no wins against top 15 opponents. Who cares about top 15? Do they play top 25? I don't like that. Like, if we're going to talk, yeah. Crimson Tide will tout the strength of schedule and point. Okay, the SEC got what do I want to say? They got exposed this weekend. The SEC was exposed. Okay, they've talked about their strength of schedule, but you had Bama and Georgia who could not beat weaker opponents by the spread. And this has been a problem with those two teams. And throw Ole Miss in there as well. The only team I will forgive is Oklahoma. They did not beat LSU by the spread, but they have been winning uh like pretty consistently by the spread, whereas Bama and Georgia have not, and then Ole Miss did not. Um, so yeah, I think if Bama loses, I think they're out. Uh, but see, they're already like you should be focused on winning, not focused on getting into the playoffs if you lose. That's the problem here. Yeah, they lost against Florida State, who's now 5-7. Um, that's not yeah, like focus on Georgia, okay? That's the problem. The SEC wants to hang everything on its strength of schedule. I don't think they're that I don't think their schedule is really that tough. Like if you're going to point to ranked teams, um, with ranked teams, that's a voter. Okay. There are several teams right now that are ranked that I don't think should be ranked. I'll just tell you right now. They don't deserve to be ranked. Tennessee did not deserve to be ranked. Tennessee lost bad against Vandy. They don't deserve to be ranked. Yeah, you don't get charges for a civil case if it's not. There is no drug related civil cases. Like, stop. Uh, he wouldn't even see the line or the test, only the probation officer. Yeah, yeah, true. Poppy seeds would not, yeah, poppy seeds test positive for heroin, not cocaine. And that's because poppies are where opium comes from. Um, so it's got the same root material. Now, the poppy seeds themselves don't have opium in them. They're not going to get you high. But what they test for when they test for, I forget the chemical, when they test for opium, um, that same chemical is in poppy seeds. And here's the other thing. And I had Marines who tested positive for heroin, and then we're like, oh, I ate a poppy seed bagel that morning. Do you know how many poppy seeds you have to eat to test positive? It is a lot. So it's something I do have some knowledge about. BYU, if BYU, I have no problem if they're kept out. Uh, Miami, I think people should give Miami another look. I really do. I think they've been playing some better football. Um, I would look at Vanderbilt, but here's the problem. The SEC right now, of the 3, 4 teams that are going to make it in the playoffs, I don't see any of them winning their games. They're going to make the playoffs, and I think they're all going to lose. Ole Miss is not impressive at all. Uh, Georgia, it depends on what Georgia team shows up. Uh, Oklahoma, I think they will probably come in and play Notre Dame and get beat. They won't get destroyed, but they'll get beat. Um, and then Bama, again, it comes to which Bama team is going to show up. And when you're in the playoffs, everybody's bringing their best game. Everybody, like, I can't think of a team that went into the playoffs and collapsed. Like if they lost bad, it's only because they lost to that like good of a team, and the team that they lost to ended up being like either national champion or runner up. So yeah, it's yeah. I don't think there are going to be teams um, that underperform. Other than I think the SEC. I think it's probably 75% chance that their top 3 teams do not win. In Florida, process of drug testing on probation involves several steps. After the defendant takes the drug test, results are sent to a laboratory. Yep. Supreme Court has a 1 billion music piracy case. I hate when they do that with a scroll. Um, an unsuspecting group of women is getting STDs. Why? Uh, Sonia trailer. No, the 23-year-old screamed she was HIV positive. A black woman shared her story from almost dying of HIV complications. So it's black women, specifically those who live in the South. Why? Gender-based power dynamics, economic vulnerability. Okay, but that doesn't say why. Is it because they're making horrible choices in men and then not having protected sex? Could that be it? 81% were of new HIV. 81% were men. 34% were black. 51%. So these are here's what they're not going to talk about. These men are bi. 81%. Yeah, these men are having sex with men and women, and they're then giving it to women. Yeah, it's incredibly hard for a man to get HIV from a woman. Incredibly hard, but it's really easy to get it from another man. So maybe we shouldn't be talking like to these black women. We should be talking about, hey, wearing a condom. Men who have had sex with men have been the primary face of HIV. Okay, they remain the ones most likely to take PrEP. Yeah, of course. Providers still have an HIV stigma. Stop with that. Stop with that. Black woman who lives in the South has rarely been offered an HIV test over the years. Okay, well, if you're having unprotected sex, you should be asking for that. Seriously? Like when I was a kid, all they preached to us was, and I say kid, teenager. Hey, have protected sex, have protect HIV, HIV, HIV. Well, guess what? Um, we started significantly lowering HIV, and then due to things like PrEP, which you know almost make HIV curable. Um, yeah, now people are going back to not having protected sex. And it's like, no, that's a lot of stigma culture. Well, you just don't want to talk about it and you want to ignore the problem. That's what it is. Uh, yeah, I'm not seeing anything interesting in that article. Wear a condom. If you're getting with a guy, make him wear a condom. Sorry, not sorry. Uh, why are they still pushing Amy Schumer? Oh my God, she is not a celebrity. Just stop. Yeah, Josh Brolin says Donald Trump was a different guy when they were friends. Just stop. Just stop. You you were friends with him and now you politically don't like him. He didn't change. You have a different opinion now. All right, guys, I'm looking at the time. I'm gonna have to start wrapping things up. Uh, bu- 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 These people cannot be ignorant of how you contract HIV. No, but they just want to ignore. They don't want to change their lifestyle. Um, these are the same women who like will get in people's face about you can't yell at me or tell me what to do. Like, okay, no, we can. Like, if you want to have a healthy life, uh, Oh, there's a new art installation here in Joshua Tree. I don't care. All these artists, it's just so pathetic. You can also get HIV from dirty needles, get a blood transfusion. The blood wasn't treated. That okay. That was in the 80s of like they test blood now. Like now you'll get it from dirty needles if you're a drug user, but I think if you're a drug user, I don't think you have a stigma about gay sex too. Uh but yeah, the whole blood transfusion, no. That was when they didn't know how to test for it. They test all the blood in blood transfusions now. They do. Um uh, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna get going. I got to get ready for my day. Thank you for being here, and as always, thank you for being worth serving.
Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleeping moon. Loose print smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleeping moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened